This video will walk you through the process for coding assessments after students have submitted their tests. If you have not yet assigned a test in FOSSMAP, see the Accessing FOSSMAP and Assigning Assessments video on the FOSSWeb Walkthrough Videos page for more information. In order to get started, log into FOSSWeb, click on the module that was tested, then click on the FOSSMAP link in the Teaching the Modules section. Click on the icon for Online Testing, as you did when you were assigning a test. Then click on Review, Grade, Online Tests. You can scroll down this page to see a list of all assessments that have been assigned to students. If you have a lot of assessments in the system, it's possible to filter down by grade, bank or module, class, or even by student. You can also filter by time frame for when the assessment was taken. Across the bottom of your screen, you can review all assessments that are in progress, or if you filter the assignments, you'll see the assignments that fit the filters you chose. You'll see the date the assessment was assigned, the name of the test, the assigning teacher, the class it was assigned to, the number of students that have not started the assessment, the number of students in progress, the number of students whose assessments are pending review, and the number of assessments that have been coded and are available in reports. To see the list of students that were assigned a particular assessment, you can hover over the student icon. Before you begin coding, check the Not Started or In Progress columns to make sure there are no outstanding assessments, particularly if you believe all your students finished the assessment. In some cases, students may quit out of the browser session without submitting the assessment for coding. These assessments will not appear in the coding section. In order to code these non-submitted assessments, you need to manually submit the assessments for the students in FOSSMAP. To do this, click on the Monitor Online Test Taking button found in the Online Testing section at the top of the page. Next, scroll to the bottom of this page to find the assessment. If your assessment is not showing, you may need to adjust the filters. Once you find your assessment, click on the paper pencil icon. Your class roster will appear with the progress of each student on the assessment. Please note, if you do this while the students are actively taking the assessment, the screen is only updated every 1 to 2 minutes. It is therefore not a completely accurate representation of the student's status in the assessment during test taking. The test status column will indicate whether the students have started the assessment, submitted the assessment, or are actively working on it. Submitted assessments have an orange manual review indication in this column. These assessments should appear in the Review, Grade, Online Test section. For students who have not correctly submitted the assessment, the status will be gray in progress or red not active. Select these students and click the Submit Test button at the bottom of the modal box. Make sure students do not have the assessment open when you do this. These assessments will now appear with the manual review indication and will be available for coding. Going back to the Review, Grade, Online Test section, you can begin coding the complete assessments. Click the blue Review button to begin coding. When you arrive on the next page, the program defaults to code by item. You can look at all items per student, but we highly recommend coding by item. This will go faster than coding by student, and your coding will be much more consistent. You'll notice that the Manually Coded Only checkbox is selected, which means that only the manually coded items are shown in the drop-down. If you deselect it, you will be able to select all the items from the drop-down. Use this if there is an automatically coded item you want to override. It is recommended to review fill-in-the-blank items as the automatic coder cannot catch all possible inventive spellings from students. Additionally, the Filter Student dropdown defaults to show only those assessments that are pending review. After you're done coding and want to review all the assessments, for example, you can change this to all. Click on the rectangular icon to get the full screen view. This moves the coding box up next to the item and student answers, rather than being located below the item where it is less accessible. When the page refreshes, you are ready to start coding. You will read the student's answer and then code the answer at the right by clicking on the code you want to assign, then clicking Apply Code. Most times, the page will refresh and take you to the next student automatically. If that does not happen, simply click on the next student in the left sidebar. Once you have coded an item for all students, the program will go to the next manually coded item, even if the manually coded only box is unchecked. In order to go to an automatically coded item, you will need to select it from the drop-down. There are two places to access the coding guides. Clicking the icon at the top will give you a pop-up window. Clicking the View Coding Guide button at the bottom will give you a coding guide PDF you can download and print. These documents provide the coding guides only. If you want example answers as well, you will need to download the coding guide found on FOSWeb. When you finish coding all of the students, you will get a pop-up box that says all questions for all pending students have now been coded. Click Yes to submit all students. Going back to your assignment list, you should now see that the students who were pending review previously are now in the finished column. You are now ready to start looking at reports. Click on the reporting icon in the dashboard to bring up coded tests. It can take a few minutes to process all the codes to prepare the reports. So if the reports don't pop up immediately, wait a few minutes and try again. Please see the FOSMAP reporting video tutorial on the FOSWeb walkthrough videos page for more information about accessing and reading reports. If you need more help, please contact us using the form on our help page.